See, Cornelius and Peter, opposite ends of the spectrum, both seeking the Lord daily, they are met by the Lord as they prioritize this communion with the Lord. These men and many more in the Bible, they had these routines and habits of communion with God. And they were men that as they sought the Lord and they just spent time with him and they heard from him. And that right there is another point of application for us, just in the day-to-day rhythms of our life. Again, Paul talks about supplications, this request we make to the Lord, and that's important. We're able to do so. He's about to talk about intercession, which is important as well, and we should engage in that. He's going to talk about thanksgiving. What should be all throughout our prayers is giving thanks to the Lord and worshiping him. But this communion with the Lord, just this prayer life that we should have, this adopted communication with the Lord, that is something that we should have as a high priority in our life. Because understand, as we speak to the Lord and allow him to speak back to us on a day-to-day rhythmic type of basis, we hear his will for our life. We're clued in on the things that he wants for our life. We're clued in and able to hear and learn what his voice sounds like. And I will tell you that that is not something that happens if you avoid that. If you dismiss the daily communion with the Lord that we are invited into, reading your Bible, praying, seeking what he has for you, understand that if you're desiring to hear from the Lord, desiring to know his will for your life, then if you're not doing those things, it's a great chance you won't hear it. There's a great chance, and I talk to people all the time who say to themselves and say to me, I just want to hear God speak. I want to hear his will for my life. And I'm like, are you reading your Bible? Are you praying? And if they're not hearing his voice, oftentimes it's a no. No, I'm not reading my Bible every day. No, I'm not praying. No, I'm not dwelling on the things of God and thinking through and communing with the Lord on a day-to-day basis. It's like, well, then you're probably not going to hear him. You're not going to hear him in the intimate way that you are desiring. But if you do, if we take part in what we're invited to do, and God will blow our minds in how he'll speak to us and lead us through his word and through prayer. It should be a priority, friends. This right here, this daily communication with God, it should be something that we are about, that we have, and we're intentionally moving forward in. Paul here, he shows it as a high priority.